You're here because you clicked on a link from my Facebook page where I posted a video entitled Got Any? And by that I meant, do you have any baggage? After speaking about the Holocene, where it becomes apparent that our species is a new arrival as a result of a climate optimum, good times. And we have exploded in population and in prosperity because of the climate, because food became readily available, and maybe because of our increasing population, we became urbanized and we began to specialize. We were no longer small tribes of hunter gatherers, but we became aircraft designers, entrepreneurs building sophisticated electronic components, investment bankers, totally different from our ancestors and living in a totally different world suddenly. Geologically speaking, this is sudden. A few thousand years is sudden. And our genetically endowed reptile brain, instinct, emotion is not well suited to life in the 21st century. And to, to make it very simple and plain, I use the word maturity. We need to become more mature, meaning that we need more self control over our impulses. And one author a few years ago referred to this as emotional intelligence. And we need to gain some freedom to choose. Another author used the word proactivity, which is probably garbled and misused by most people. But the ability to choose a response rather than being compelled to respond as your reptile brain dictates. And that's what I meant by baggage. Ultimately, that's the baggage that I'm referring to. Something to consider at the end of this journey. Because this reptile brain baggage instinct, suited for hunter-gatherers living in caves eating raw meat and not even speaking a sophisticated language, not able to communicate even in speech, much less via the internet or through electronic media. This primitive wiring, hardwiring, I suspect can be improved upon, and it might be a matter of rewiring our brains, because your brain can modify itself through use, through practice. Uh, Nerve channels through the brain can be strengthened so that we have greater ability to be aware of our responses and to question our responses and to restrain or get control of the wild horses that are galloping, driving our lives uh, contrary to logic in some cases. Of course, we need our autonomic nervous system to keep our heart beating while we talk about our brains. Your heart is beating and you're breathing, and your food is digesting automatically as you hear my words. We don't want to uh, disable the autopilot, our central nervous system connected to the brainstem, connected to those subconscious impulses in our brains, but impulses that drive us toward extreme fear, extreme anger, rage, jealousy, envy, destructive outbursts, can be somewhat tamed through um, practice, and through training starting in childhood. And there's probably a genetic component. Probably some people are more easily self-restrained. Self-restraint might be a talent that we should add to our repertoire in the 21st century. Such talent was not as important 20,000, 50,000, 1 million, or 500,000 years ago. You simply needed to escape predators. Today we are our own predator. We prey on each other. And we do it automatically, and it's stupid. It's stupid. We are being commanded by a dictator in our heads that is stupid, and we ought to overthrow this dictator and take control of our lives consciously.